All right, welcome to the content creation game. Whether you're on YouTube or you're making reels or TikToks, you're starting to see that space and hard drives are like really important to you. So I'm gonna answer this question I get a lot about what hard drives to use and how to manage all that stuff. So let's get in there.
Break.
Welcome. My name is Ryan, and I'm a videographer and photographer based in Toronto, Canada. And this is my playlist, Culture Creativity, where I share tips that we can grow and make content together. And you know what? I've been making content for quite some time. I've been making stuff on my own as a hobby for fun, and then I transitioned to working in weddings and then also corporate work. And so I understand the pain of like needing a hard drive like every few weeks. So I'm gonna suggest to you like a couple kind of hard drive equations that you can have. And so these equations are based on two concepts. One, you gotta choose the fastest hard drive you have when you're editing. So I've mentioned that before multiple times on this channel. But also you wanna have your important files saved twice. And twice, like literally, it's saved on two different devices, not on a different folder on the same device, okay? And so important files can be, client work that needs to be done. It can be, stuff that you want to archive and save for the long term, or it can be stuff that needs to be edited and you haven't edited yet, okay? So those are the three things that I say need to be saved twice, okay? So up until early 2020, I had a really kind of older iMac. It had a Thunderbolt 2 port, so I couldn't get the current Thunderbolt 3 and 4 right now, and so I had to use one of these little G drive hard drives. And it was the reason I chose this is because it had like a 720 no 720, no, faster than that. It had 7200 rpm, so it was a little bit faster than your regular USB drive. And so this drive had a Thunderbolt 2, and it was 7200. This one was just USB 3, and it was slower, like it more in the 5400 range. And so what I would do is I would bring in the footage here. Footage would be copied from camera to the drive. I would make another copy to this slower drive, or I could do it here and then move here. Some people say you should copy it directly from the camera both times, because you get like the best quality file, and you can avoid corruptions or degradation in the file. I do both. I've never had a problem. Just make sure you do some checks, and just use good memory cards, and you should be fine. So anyways, copy the files to this one. This is faster. This is a lot slower. I would edit with this one connected to the computer, and then this one I would make a copy of just the raw footage, and then this would just be unplugged and it would be gone. Okay, so this one just stays connected only when I want to copy files to it as a backup. Okay, that's the general flow, because now I can edit off this drive, and there's a copy of the files here. There's also another copy here, and it's also the fastest one I have. Now I've gotten a little bit more advanced. Your boy has gotten an upgrade. I'm using an iMac Pro right now, and so that has Thunderbolt 3. So now what I do is I edit with an SSD, and then so again, copy the files to the SSD, and then make a copy to the slower drive, because an SSD is way faster than one of these guys. Edit with the SSD, right? And then if the project fills the SSD and I can't do another one, then I'll copy it over to this guy here. And so you still have the two copies here, but when I copy this over here, then I only have one copy now, right? Because we copied the files from here. So now I have another hard drive that now has that second copy. So edit off the smaller hard drive, make a copy to this one, and then when the files are finished, copy it to another hard drive. So at least, again, I have it saved in 2 locations. Lately, yeah, it's a lot of copying and stuff. So I finally invested in a NAS, which is network attached storage. What does that mean again? Hold on one second. Is it NAS? Yes, that's right. Network attached storage. And so the NAS is basically a server. It's just a lot of hard drives put together, and they're like working together to create a lot more space and to work faster. I'm not putting them on a table because it's too big. So here's a cutaway for you. All right, so here's my workstation. Come down here. Oh, here's my NAS. Oh, it's kind of dusty. Don't worry about that. And it's right here. And so we got the 6 drives here are working together to create a big thing. But anyway, so it just sits under there, has a Thunderbolt connection, and it kind of comes up back up to my computer. And I just dropped the light, but there you go. So now my workflow is a little bit more simplified. So my NAS, oh gosh. My NAS kind of acts as the first 2 hard drives. So kind of acts as the SSD and the first archive, because it's super fast. It's Thunderbolt 3, and so I can edit off of it. And it's also huge. It can hold a lot of stuff. And so it has a redundancy that can warn me if the hard drives are going to fail. And so I have, some redundancy there. Now, the NAS is not a be-all, end-all. Sometimes people misconstrue that and think, oh, just because it has a redundancy, it means you're safe. A backup is still something that is not saved in the actual device, okay? So you never want to have just a NAS saving everything, because that NAS itself needs to be backed up. So whether that's another NAS or another hard drive, you need to have a backup. So what I do is I back up any crucial stuff from the NAS to another hard drive. And I know it's a lot of backing up, but you'll be very happy in the end when you something has a failure, which has happened to me before, and I have something saved somewhere else. So you want to have a secondary storage. Now, if you want to take this to the next level, you're like, I don't want to lose anything, and maximize my chances. Your backup, consider having your backup being offsite. And so by offsite, I mean like not in your place where you work, because you could have a fire, earthquake, knock on wood, you name it, like things can happen. And if everything's all in the same place, then you're in trouble. So now, if you're making YouTube and you're doing fun stuff, this is not a big thing. If you're doing client work, this might be more important. But I used to use an online storage. I think it was Backblaze, yeah, and that would upload all my footage, and they would save it, in a magical cloud somewhere. I never ended up I stopped using it because I just didn't have a fast enough internet connection to merit uploading terabytes of information all the time, and my area I can't get faster internet where I am, so it kind of just didn't make sense for me. So now I use a service where a courier comes and drops off a hard drive, they pick it up later, and they store it. And if I need to retrieve it, then I just call them, and then they bring it to me. But you don't have to be fancy like that. Offsite storage can be something as simple as I'm saving stuff to a hard drive, and then I'm going to give it to my friend. Hey, your friend takes it for you, and they store it at their place. And that is the poor man's version of offsite storage. Of course, there's a little bit more coordination, because you may have to go back there and get the hard drive and update it and give it back to them. And now with COVID, especially if you're living in Ontario right now, the stay-at-home order is making things a little bit difficult for things like that, but it's still possible, right? Like gloves, mask, whatever. And so yeah, that's if you're like serious about making sure you have some kind of offsite storage. But anyways, I digress. The point is, save things twice and use the fastest drive possible. If you have an SSD or a NAS, I would say edit off of that because those will give you the best speeds, and read, writing, rendering, all that will be done so much faster. If you're getting value from this content, please hit the like button. I would love to see that like so it can help me just grow the channel and see what you guys are actually appreciating. Anyways, hope that helps. If you have any questions about this workflow or anything like that, I know it was very kind of quick, but I tried to get in as many details as possible. So let me know. Have a good day. Stay courageous, friends. Bye. What was all of this hand stuff? Jeez. Stay courageous, friends. Bye.